well, everyone, and welcome to another one of my server spotlights. This is Dungeon Master 372 here with Excavator 5.
Hello, everybody.
Yep, and today we are going to kind of go over what's going on with the server. Any links and stuff that are available to you at the moment will be in the description below, so please feel free to check those out. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll try to get this done real quick so that way you can get back into your gaming.
All right. Thanks, Dungeon. As he said, this is Excavator 5. Most people know me, and my in-game or in-channel names will be Sullivan. So either address me by either or, it doesn't matter. I'll respond to either. But this is Rise of Nations. This is the project that's been going on for about the last 7 months. Lots of hard work has been put into it, and lots of thought trying to get you guys the best lore server with an MMO aspect to it. But without explaining, we'll just kind of start getting into some of the things you guys might want to start off with, just so you guys can get going with your feet on the ground running. So you'll spawn here. This is where you will spawn when you first join. We have a board here that'll just kind of give you any notes or heads up what's going on the server. Right now it's in beta, so this will all change. Rules are fairly simple. It's all common sense unless there's a few specific ones, which there are. We can link those in the game to the forum so you guys can kind of get a better description of it. We also have tip books here, so if you feel free to take one. Just gives you some friendly tips on how to spend your money wisely and what's the best recommendations to be able to use for money that you get when you first spawn as best as possible. And whenever you're ready, Dungeon, we can head down to the tutorial basement and get started.
Yay!
So on this long spiral staircase down, we'll head into the tutorial basement. I built this just as a heads up and kind of a guide for people. Instead of having to type it all out in a book, it's just easier for me to do kind of a visual aspect for players to see how, what I mean and what I'm trying to do, because Rise of Nations is so different. For instance, you're not allowed to swim, you're not allowed to go in the water. Keeps you on the paths and it keeps you on the land itself, because we spend all this time terraforming everything and making everything look good. The last thing I want is a bunch of players swimming across the ocean to get to the other side of the map when they're supposed to be walking. So it does deal damage to you. 8 hearts, that's almost all of your health bar. So I'd be very, very cautious if you're around water, close to an edge, just not to jump into it. Our next big thing that is very important is the ore respawning. We have a method of respawning these ores so that we don't have to have players going underground and us having to regen or respawn all of these ores for players to use. So there's designated pits and mines all over the map that have ores in it, and when you destroy it, it turns to bedrock, and it also pops something up in your chat that'll say this ore, this coal ore, or this iron ore will be respawning in however many seconds. So then it notifies you on how long you have left until you can mine the ore again. And now moving on to the tree part, which is pretty much the same thing as the mining wall. You chop down a tree, turns to a fence, tells you how much time is left, and then it turns back to the tree itself. Those are located all over the map as well. We'll show you kind of more in depth on what they actually look like, so you can keep your eyes out for things. Now, these all will have MBTs in it, or shops. It's just something went wrong with the plugin and we're having a bit of a difficulty with it. But imagine there's someone standing there with a name above their head. This is a portmaster. So for us to keep our server as balanced as possible, we have to use tickets and coins. And as you can tell in Dungeon's inventory, he'll have coins and a stack, which are your currency. Coins are single, stack is not, one stack is 9, and it goes up in greater value from there. And these are the actual currency of the server. You trade for items with these, you trade for everything with them. As an extra currency, or what other plugins will use, we have to have a virtualized currency, which is called tickets. So you buy, or you'll rent your room, you'll rent your house, you'll rent your everything. You'll buy certain things with that say tickets. That's all virtualized. So you go to these port shops, and they'll have signs in there that sell tickets in single, 16, and 64, and they can't be traded back into coins just because the tickets are well spent, if you really think about it. It's not like you're going to buy a ticket and it's wasted, you can't use it ever again. You'll always have a use for having these tickets on you, so it's not a complete waste of money. And moving on, this is what an inn looks like. We'll just break the glass here and step on in. So as you can tell, most of these items in here are what you have in your inventory when you first spawn. These are for rent, so they're anywhere from 2 to 800 tickets for 30 days to rent out a room, and you get notified when you come close to the end of your rent so that you can repay it and add more days to it. Most of the inns, you can change the floor out for whatever you want. Any exterior facing blocks that face outside or towards another room cannot be changed. Roof also, depending on the inn, can be changed as well. You can add things on the walls, you can put paintings, you can put lanterns, and you can set up chairs and tables, everything, the whole 9 yards. With chests, I have removed the ability to be able to craft them just simply because I don't want players hoarding thousands and thousands of items in their inns. It's meant to be a role-played server, as well as it encourages them to trade out items or to sell items so that they can constantly have a clean inventory and a single chest. You also get a mint storage, which holds all of your coins, so it keeps it separated from your chest. And then you got a mailbox, which I just think kind of adds to it. It's kind of sweet. You can just send some mail out to your best friend, send a few presents or something for Christmas time. And there's stamp shops and shops that sell envelopes all around the server, so they're not hard to find. And of course, the crafting bench. Most of the inns will come with a bed for default, so that you don't have to go and buy one. And it's the same thing you can see on the wall here. It'll be pretty much the same thing for the actual rental of the rooms. It's just it'll turn white and then it'll say your name on it. And moving over to Guardian slots, the last thing I have down here. So you can go and purchase Guardian slots. So when you die, it actually saves a certain amount of items in your inventory. Default, it starts with your 4 inventory or your 4 armor slots, and then it starts going from your hotbar as your first. So it'll go 1 and 2 through 1 through 0, I believe. 0 is the last one, if I'm not correct. And you'll be able to, sorry, it's 9. And so you'll be able to buy X amount of Guardian slots, and when you die, it tells you how many you have left and how many that you've used. So that's kind of helpful if you're trying to go through the area, trying to get ores or something special. At least protects you quite a bit. We'll head on up here. Primarily, this video is going to be just for kind of giving you guys a heads up on how some of the things work on Rise of Nations, just due to the fact that we are a completely different style server than what most servers are like, and some of the concepts might be hard to grasp trying to explain them through chat. So if you have a video to watch for, you can kind of keep an eye out for something similar, or if you see the same thing in the video, you can definitely go and look for it. So we're leaving Spawn Castle here.
They really went out of their way on the builds here. I mean, it's really, you know, a great server to, if you want to kind of look around at the different builds and stuff, because they've really done a really excellent job at producing excellent builds as far as the, you know, the individual towns. So,
and it only gets better from here. Well, that's all I can say. Alright, so we'll head over to the nobleman's farm so I can show you guys what the farms look like and kind of give you a bit of an example here for the noble's farm. walking down the path. All right. So there'll be one of the quests here. You'll find a farmer in the field, and he'll just ask you to get some meat for him to feed his family, and he'll give you access to the nobleman's shop, which buys wheat for a fairly decent price. So it helps you get a little bit more money off the start when you're starting off the server here. For these, cost 550 tickets for 30 days. For your farm lot, you cannot build higher than 3 blocks, and you're only allowed to build wheat, or you're only allowed to plant wheat, so you can't build a massive hut here, it won't work. And these are all monitored too, so you can't place chests down anywhere, you can't place any of the items you have in your inventory down here. That's strictly meant for your inn, so it's just farm fields, that's all they are. And you can harvest them, go sell them, and do whatever you want, because this is your plot as far as farming goes. There's 12 here, and then there's another 30 somewhere else. You guys can definitely be able to find them. The more expensive they are, the most likely they are to a city such as Spawn. So you can just slash Spawn and walk over here rather than having to weave your way around a bunch of stuff to be able to get to your farm. So the price does vary depending on the location of the farm itself. We'll just kind of jump up and fly here and head on over to the tree farm. And our map is custom made. Everything's done by hand. We spent a lot of time trying to fuss with World Painter for a bit. I was never a fan of using it. And then all of a sudden someone actually figured out how to properly use it because Feed the Beast didn't recognize some of the items. And it also didn't help either that we were having nothing but issues with trying to get the map done. So we ended up just Voxel Sniper and World Edit as both of our main uses to be able to get all this to look the way it is. But now that we have World Painter working, we can definitely finish our premium side of the server all by World Painter, and it takes half the time. So it gives us more time to release content a little quicker. So, but as you can tell, we are in a gated area. All the tree farms around the server are gated. This is one of the bigger ones. Everything else is going to be smaller, kind of a 25 by 25 and under. You'll see them. So basically you just go up to the tree and you'll chop it down and get the wood. It'll turn to a fence, and that tells you the respawn time. So it's fairly simple. You just walk in here. You don't have to replant anything. You don't have to do any of that. You just go chop it, and that's it. And you can just grab the item and walk away. So it's fully automated. It doesn't require you to have to replant, which I know sometimes is a pain in the butt, because the last thing you want to do is have to replant trees all over the place when you just cut all of them down, and you just want to get on your way. So that is one of the most pain in the arses. So that's thank God that plugin helps us out with that, at least that much. We'll head on over to the mine here. I can show you what that is. Go over here, dungeon. Perfect. So this is pretty far from spawn. This one here, all the mines are going to be outlined with fence, or they'll have a sign in front of it, so that's kind of indicated. And also you can tell by the gravel that this will be a mine. And right, this one only has coal and iron. So when you get rid of the coal, see, it turns to bedrock. You have a pickaxe on you?
Actually, I don't.
Okay, I'll give you one so you can show them what it looks like. There's one on the other side there. You mine it and show them what it looks like. So it pops it off, you can pick it up, and then it just tells you how much time is left until the respawn. So it's super helpful, and then you can come up and I think the right-click feature doesn't work yet. Oh, that's not good. Anyways, the right-click feature doesn't work. It's supposed to prospect it, so you come up and you're like, well, what the hell were these? I don't know what they are. You right-click them, and it'll tell you this is coal ore, and it's respawning in 22 seconds, or a minute and a half, you know, and I haven't got that feature to work yet, but that should be coming out soon. So it's fairly simple. You can just walk around, mine everything, and then go away, and you got all of your ores, and you're pretty much good to go. That is very important for you guys to know. The inns are super easy. We can definitely explain that once we're going sightseeing. we'll just jump from town to a few towns here and show you guys what some of the big builds are on the server.
Oh,
Ready
yeah.
to go?
Yep, I'm ready. Hello, everyone. Dungeon Master 372 coming right back at you. Sorry to interrupt, but it's the end of the video. Yep, that's right. We kind of reached our limit. That's okay, though. We have another video coming right up that will continue to cover all the server builds that we were talking about. It's a great server. Feel free to check it out. The link and IP and all that good stuff will be in the description below. We'd love to see you on the server. I might come on and, say hi or whatever. So feel free to stop in, check it out, see how everything's going. The first video was pretty much to cover how to get started and what to expect whenever you come to the server. So feel free to check it out, man. It's good stuff, good people, lots of builds to look at and marvel at, and a lot of other stuff for you to do. So there it is, guys. Feel free to check out the next video, and please click like and subscribe if you like what you see. So, Dungeon Master 372 signing out on another good server video. I'm wishing you guys to have a good one, and I am out.